Happy birthday, everyone, and welcome to the Happy Birthday Podcast with your hosts, Jackie and Dan, the #1 podcast on ApplePodcast.com, dedicated to the birthdays you know and love. So without further ado, take it away, Dan.
Go shawty.
It's your birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Have a wonderful, wonderful day.
I'm wishing you the happiest birthday.
Happy birthday. This is big. It's your birthday.
Oof, I did not make my tea warm enough, but it's okay. We're going to move on and welcome to the Happy Birthday Podcast. I'm Dan, November 10th.
I'm Jackie, October 12th.
Hell yeah, dude.
And I am Mr. Limata, September 20th. Good to see everyone again. Good to see all our listeners again.
We like to call him Producer Paul. He's not really a producer in the formal sense or technical sense, but
No,
he does something.
I was trying to
He
think
sure does
recently
do
about what I
something,
contribute to the show, and you know what it is? I
Vibes.
derail.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what I do.
All right, stop with the funny conversation and send it to our podcast.
Yeah, time to get serious about birthdays.
Okay,
No more
okay.
jokes.
All right. I don't do jokes, all right?
I don't. I do rhymes and fairy tales.
We do lists.
myths.
Here.
Do you want to
Yeah,
know
lists.
something? I wanted to do rhyming so bad for this one, and I just couldn't get it done.
What famous person has a birthday today? Can you just guess out of thin air? I'd like to call this a raw guess. Go ahead,
Ooh,
Jacqueline.
I like that.
It's a phrase I coined.
You know what's funny is earlier I came up with a really good raw guess because I always try and come up with them early, and
Yeah.
dang it all, I forgot the guy. So I'm gonna say Michelle Obama.
No. If it were Michelle Obama's birthday, I wouldn't be playing a silly guessing game. I would have announced it right at the top of the show. I would have taken my
Sure.
hat off and my shirt and done a salute.
Sure.
And said,
North Carolina.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
No, Jackie, but when you said I should have remembered the guy earlier, I think you had a little something on the ball because this is an
Oh, sure.
American man born on this day in 1955.
Okay.
1955. This guy is a comedy guy, and he's a
Okay.
real silly comedy guy. Who are some of the most
Okay.
silliest comedian men you can think of? It's
Oh,
around in the
gosh.
80s, 90s. He's still around today, but he doesn't really do
Well, that
comedy
changes
anymore.
both my answers.
Okay, well,
I'm gonna say Pee Wee Herman.
no. I wish it was.
Okay.
I want to say in his own way more annoying than Pee Wee Herman.
Ooh.
Who could that be?
You said he's like a TV guy. Sorry, I'm
Yeah. Are you experiencing some sort of technical difficulties?
For some reason, my short-term memory is not what it used to be right now.
Oh, gotcha. I'll tell you this. He's been on several TV shows.
Okay.
He did a voice in a cartoon in the 90s.
Well, it kind of sounded like this.
Meatwad.
Oh, that's not Meatwad. It's the original
Okay.
Meatwad. Kind of a proto-Meatwad. It's a kids show. He's a judge on America's Got Talent.
Oh, I totally know. Howie Mandel.
Howie Mandel.
Nice.
Okay, so that was the Happy Birthday Podcast. Once again, I'm Jackie, November 10th, and we'll see y'all next year.
Okay. Did I get it?
You got it, yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
That was one of your quickest gets in a while.
I'm on this new medicine.
We found one of the 15 people that you know. And I love that it was Howie Mandel.
What was
America's
that
Got
show?
Talent.
Bobby's World.
Bobby's World.
Briefcase.
Yeah.
Briefcase or no briefcase.
Especially since we had less
Yeah.
time to write this week, I was considering doing a briefcase or no briefcase bit. But I was like, how do we translate that to audio? And like, what
Yeah.
props would I need to get? And it's like, well, Dave, you don't need to get any props, first of all. And I was like, no, I need props. I need to like hold something in my hand and have Jackie choose one of the hands.
Yeah.
Have her do that 20 times.
That did we just talk about that show last week?
I don't think
think
so.
so.
That's another one of those shows.
I never understood that show.
don't know what's happening.
Yeah.
But you guys don't either, is what you're saying.
I don't either. I never really watched it, but I've seen it.
Are you talking Deal or No Deal?
Deal or No Deal. Yeah, I really don't
briefcase or
get
no
it.
briefcase.
Yeah.
I get it.
What do you get about it?
He says, "Do you want to take the deal or no?" And you say,
What's the
either
deal?
or no deal.
It's just a different.
It's like how much money is in the briefcase. And
But
that's-
there's
you
no
either get
money
it or
in
you
the
don't.
briefcase. It's just a sign. It's just a
the-
piece of
it's-
paper.
You can
It's
redeem those
money,
signs
though.
at any bank.
Yes, exactly. Thank you.
I still don't know. Honest to
I
God,
honestly don't, and I'm sorry. I'm on your side with this one. I'm not fighting you. In preparing this segment, I was reading the Wikipedia article about Deal or No Deal, and I read the
How the
description
fuck does this work?
of how the game is played, and I still don't get it.
Yeah.
can they lose money? Is it gambling?
I think you can lose what you had already acquired. Yes.
Okay, well, it's not really gambling then.
No.
It's a gamble.
It's gambling, but when it's your birthday and the casino gives you a free $20.
We do a segment
you
every
don't have to-
episode of this radio show called The Birthday Bio of Howie Mandel, and I'm your host, Dan, here to tell you all about it. Here we go.
Okay.
Howie Mandel, Howie Mandel, Howie Mandel. Oh, how we love our Howie Mandel. Born on this day in 1955, a quick scroll through this jolly good fellow's Wikipedia page reveals an array of fun facts that are almost as fun as the funny man himself. Did you know that in his early stand-up days, he would pull a latex glove over his head and blow it up with his nose?
Ew.
And hey, did you know that in 1980, Mr. Mandel married a woman named Terry Soyle? It's true. And how's this for a fun fact? Did you know that while guest hosting live with Regis and Kelly, the famously obsessive-compulsive germaphobe Howie had his hand forcibly shaken by the one and only Rob Schneider?
Ooh,
Yeah,
I
what-
like that
I
factoid.
do too. I want to see the clip of that if it's on YouTube at all. You know what else is fun? In my Wikipedia research, I learned that just a few months ago, Howie Mandel began hosting a game show on Netflix called Bullshit the Game Show.
Oh.
But hey, you know me. I'm a 90s kid. I mean, I was born in the 80s, but I was born in 1988. So I don't really, I remember, I grew up in the 90s, right? Like that's you know what I meant though, right?
Yeah.
Hold on a second. Where was I? Oh. Hey, you know me. I'm a 90s kid. So do you know where I knew Howie Mandel from? That's right, the animated series Bobby's World, which ran on the Fox Kids network from 1990 to 1998, created by and starring today's JGF in the titular role. Bobby Jenrick is a cloying little 4-year-old scamp with an overactive imagination, growing up with his dad, Howard, his mom, Martha, his sister, Kelly, his brother, Derek, his uncle, Ted. Oh, the whole gang. We love Bobby's World, and we liked watching it. I did watch it. I don't know if you did.
Yeah, I did a bunch.
Yeah.
What was their last name?
Generic, but it's spelled generic.
It wasn't. It wasn't pronounced generic.
No, but I remember that was a gag in the show. People would say generic, and they'd be like, "Yeah, oh, it's generic."
Oh, I love that. I don't remember that.
But let's take Bobby's World out of the 90s and into the context of present-day Howie Mandel. You know, the Howie Mandel who hosts Bullshit the Game Show. Jackie,
Yeah.
you may have thought you were all done guessing. But bitch, you're just getting started. We're going to do a
Hell
brand
yeah.
new segment here on the show called Bobby Bullshit or No Bobby Bullshit.
Nice. Okay, I'm ready.
So I went through the Bobby's World episode guide on Wikipedia and copied
Yeah.
and pasted a few episode titles and descriptions. But, or have I?
Okay.
I have. But maybe not all are as what they seem to be. So maybe some of these are really episodes. Maybe some of them I made up.
I get
So
it.
some of them might be, in the words of Sir Howard Mandel, bullshit.
Okay.
So I'll give you the title and the synopsis, and you say if it's Bobby bullshit or no Bobby bullshit.
Okay.
That was hard to enunciate. No Bobby bullshit. There we
Okay.
go. Start at the beginning here. Season 1, Episode 1, The Visit to Aunt Ruth's. Bobby doesn't want to visit Aunt Ruth's house. He thinks he'll be bored and that she stinks. However, Bobby finds that being with his Aunt Ruth is actually fun, and he begins to look forward to going to Aunt Ruth's again.
I'm gonna say Bobby bullshit.
I am sorry, no Bobby bullshit. That is word for word from
Okay. Wow.
the
All right.
Wikipedia
Okay.
episode
She
guide.
stinks.
Remember that this is something that anyone can edit, and I'm not sure how how well moderated the Bobby's World episode guide is. So
Okay, fair.
keep that in mind. A few more of these. So you're 0 for 1 right now. Season 5, episode 8, Mrs. Noogie Fire. Uncle Ted dresses up as an elderly nanny to prove he can take care of the kids.
No Bobby bullshit.
No Bobby bullshit. That is an
Nice.
actual episode, probably available on DVD at any store you go to. Season 3, episode 11, Bobby's Girl. It's Valentine's Day, and Bobby realizes he might like his friend, Jackie. Oh.
I'm going to say no Bobby
No
bullshit.
Bobby bullshit. That's the real deal. And I was going to say, I bet you watched that as a kid and you were like, ooh, he likes me.
To be honest, I really don't remember any specific episodes.
Okay, so let's see. Is this bullshit or not Bobby? Bobo bullshit.
Oh, Bobby.
Bobo's world.
So the options are bullshit or not Bo Bobby.
Yes. No Bobby.
All right.
Okay, so is this copied straight from Wikipedia or not? Season 4,
Okay.
episode 1, The Hero. When a missing baby is recovered in the Generick's backyard, Bobby is mistaken for a hero and showered with accolade and presents because the baby was holding Bobby's new shoes that Bobby ruined. Bobby's conscience in the form of Captain Squash says that Bobby must clear the air, but Bobby is also hounded by his temptation in the form of a sleazy Hollywood agent who says being the center of attention is the key to a happy childhood. After telling the truth, things are okay. When his mom mentions about going to Ponyland, Bobby hopes he gets rewarded for ruining new pair of shoes next time.
I'm going to say. Are you done?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to say that was directly copied from Wikipedia.
Yes, I think that's so that is no Bobo bullshit.
I would say no Bobby bullshit.
Yeah, that
Okay?
is the real deal.
All right. Well, thank you to whoever has been putting in this effort because I am amazed.
That's the most well tended to episode description. Okay, we got a few more here. You're doing
All right.
You're doing okay. I think you've got them all but one so far.
Yeah.
Season 4, episode 8, Psycho Bobby. Bobby tries to create a statue of his mom for her birthday and comes across as acting very odd from everyone else's point of view.
Okay.
True. Paul got it. Paul with the steal. That is no Bobby bullshit.
I can't wait to listen to this episode so I can hear that back because I have no idea.
That was
what you
Bobby
just
tries
said.
to create a statue of his mom for her birthday and comes across as acting very odd from everyone else's point of view. The episode is called Psycho Bobby.
That's fucked
And
up.
I will
All
say,
right.
I was really disturbed by that one. And the episode is on YouTube, and it was not as weird as I thought.
Okay. I would like the link to that, please.
Okay. Season 6, episode 8, Time After Time. Bobby learns the concept of time.
Wow. I'm going to say no. Bobby
No
bullshit.
Bobby bullshit. All right.
This is
Season
great.
6,
I love this.
We only got a couple more here.
I know.
Season 6, episode 11, The Importance of Being Earnest. Bobby wants desperately to read Kelly's diary, but he can't read.
Sensing a trend, I'm going to say no Bobby bullshit.
No Bobby bullshit. Maybe there's a trend, maybe there's not. Let's see here. Season 7, episode 7, lucky number 7, Cruisin' Bobby. The family goes on a cruise and Bobby learns a lesson about practical jokes.
Ooh. I'm going to say no Bobby bullshit.
No Bobby bullshit. Sounds like a fun one. Okay, one more to test your expertise here.
All right.
Season 7, which is the final season, episode 10, Bobby's Final Exit. As Bobby's parents' marriage is falling apart, his dad Howard moves out and joins the Heaven's Gate cult. Bobby visits his dad for the weekend, but even a boy with active as an imagination as his isn't so sure about these guys. As the Hale-Bopp comet passes over Earth, the cult members commit mass suicide, while Bobby hides in a closet and is the sole survivor.
You know, I'm going to call bullshit.
Oh, you got nothing gets past you. Once you got warmed up, you had that first one, a little bit of a curveball. You were like, it has the word stinks in it. That sounds like Dan's humor.
Yes.
But no, you got it. Yeah, that last one,
Yeah.
totally my imagination. And
Interesting. Yeah.
ended up to me having some fun reading the Heaven's Gate Wikipedia article, too.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, shout out, Bobby.
What'd you learn on the Heaven's Gate Wikipedia page? Tell me.
You know, not much that I didn't know already, and as I started to go deeper, I was like, I have too much other stuff to do. I need to close this
Marshall's
tab,
kind of an interesting character, though.
I did
Yeah,
that
I
all
wanna know
day
about-
today.
Yeah.
I looked at every Wikipedia page for all my JGFs, and then 5 hours had passed, and I
Yep.
was like, I know a lot more than I did this morning.
You've been high all day.
No, I only got high right before the show. So.
Something that stood out in the Heaven's Gate article was I hadn't really thought about the reality of all those people being found because it was like 40 people in some rented house. So eventually there was like a well-being check on them. And a lone police officer showed up, and it was in California. It was hot out, and they'd been there for several days. And he said that he opened the door, and the smell almost like knocked him out. I was like,
Yeesh.
that's gross. So that's what I learned. And shout out,
I didn't know that.
Howard Mandel and all the Bobby's World
birthday,
gang.
dude.
I think that we're probably going to be seeing a reboot of Bobby's World very soon, coming to Redbox.
Who's the mom?
Bobby's mom. Her name is Martha.
Who did her?
I'm going to look into that.
Okay.
I'll say Bobby's dad. Send us to a break, Jackie. I'll
All right. Well, we'll be right back.
Life isn't easy, and our sponsor, BetterHelp, knows that managing your mental health is one of the most difficult parts of life. But facing those painful emotions buried inside can be just as painful as the emotions themselves. That's why I couldn't be more excited to tell you about BetterHelp's new online counseling system, Midwest Emotional Avoidance Therapy, or MEET. MEET Therapy matches you with one of our expert untrained therapists who come from generations of emotionally repressed Midwestern men. These one-of-a-kind counselors are available 24/7 anytime you need a reminder to keep your problems to yourself.
I've been struggling a lot lately with unresolved stuff with my father, and it was really traumatic.
Yeah, well, it is what it is. Can't really do nothing about it. So, hey, the game's on in 10 minutes. You want a beer?
Yeah, I do want a beer.
You deserve to experience that gratifying feeling you get from telling people I'm in therapy without all the messy emotional labor. Sign up for BetterHelp's Meet Therapy today and put your problems in their place. And you're still listening to the Happy Birthday Podcast. I don't know what else you think it would be. What we're going to do is just keep on doing what we do best, which is making you laugh and making you think.
Okay.
Not you,
Dan.
the listeners. Yeah, Jackie.
It is the birthday of someone
Howie
else.
Mandel.
No.
It is.
Another person. Another celebrity, actually.
Shout out, Howie Mandel was recently on Bill Maher's podcast, Club Random. I want to check that out. It looks pretty cool.
Are you being for real? Because I kind of want a new podcast to listen to.
Don't listen to the Bill Maher.
Okay.
I was listening to Bill Maher the other day.
When did everyone get so woke now?
He's one of those guys?
Hang on.
Yeah.
Stop. I was listening to Bill Maher the other day, and I was thinking, like, this guy brags about smoking weed and all this other stuff. Like, he's pretty out there, Maybe they should start calling this guy Bill Mars.
Because he's out of this
Because it's
world.
far away.
He's out of this. Some of his ideas are out of this world.
Did I get a guess in yet? I'm gonna guess that today is the birthday
Jerry
of.
Seinfeld.
I don't think it is. I'm gonna sing it's birthday of Jason Alexander.
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. That is not the correct answer.
Oh, I'm so sad.
Okay, well, this is a woman. She was born in 1976.
Younger than a lot of the people we talk about. Not that young, but younger than some of the people we
She's a lot older than I thought she was, actually.
So you're saying she looks freaking good.
She looks good, yeah.
Gretchen Whitmer.
This is an American actress. Shout out Gretchen Whitmer.
Tudor Dixon as well. Both of them.
You don't even go here, first of all.
I know. Go ahead. More clues.
Oh, more?
Actress.
Yeah,
What's she on? What's TV,
she's
movies?
from movies. Her breakout role was in 2000, I believe. on the big screen.
Okay, like comedy movies, action,
Comedy,
everything in between.
Comedy parody.
Oh, Anna Faris.
Wow, you are correct.
Wow, we both
Wait, is
really,
it Anna?
really quickly guessed a couple of mediocre comedy talents.
I think it's Anna, but
I think it's
Oh,
Anna.
no.
I've only ever heard Anna Faris.
I thought it was Anna Faris.
I'm gonna say Anna, but girl, I know
Okay.
you're listening. Text me and tell me how to say it.
We should have her on sometime. That reminds me, I'm not doing this to derail, but I gotta find it. I recently saw some Jeopardy clip that was going around, an older one from the Alex Trebek era, and I think Alex Trebek just like had beef with this contestant for whatever reason, and
Yeah.
the guy answered, he just mispronounced a name like that, and he was like, "Oh no, sorry, it's Anna." It's like, you
What?
motherfucker, like you know.
Wait, and they didn't really let that slide, did they?
They did, yeah.
What?
I gotta find the clip. Listeners, please, if anyone knows what I'm talking about, I really want to see it again.
There's no way.
I mean, who's going to
Crazy.
challenge Trebek on that?
R.I.P.
Yeah.
So that's right, the house bunny herself, Anna Faris. The birthday girl is adored for her breakout role as Cindy Campbell in the Wayans Brothers horror parody film franchise.
Scary movie.
Scary Movie, that is right. With 5 films in the trilogy, the Scary Movie collection has parodied just about every horror film and features an equally large amount of talent, the likes of Lindsay Lohan, Charlie Sheen,
Nice.
Snoop Dogg, and
yeah.
even the king of parody himself,
Al Yankovic.
Leslie Nielsen.
Oh.
Faris starred
It
in
also
many...
starred the fella from who works at the Taco Bell. Who
What?
he puts his hand in the cake.
Sure. Faris starred in many other roles throughout her career
Thanks,
and
Dan.
even hosts her own podcast, Unqualified, where she interviews celebrities and experts, and together they give unqualified life advice to her listeners.
Probably not as good as ours.
But what's next for today's hard-working, funny girl JGF, Anna Faris? Well, here at HBD Studios, we have a little insight into this inquiry thanks to a helpful machine called Google.com. According to Google, Anna Faris is once again working with the Wayans brothers to dive back into the world of parody. No, we're not talking about Scary Movie 6, we're talking Scary Movie 9/11. That's right, the Wayans crew decided to bring back parody movies with one of the most divisive comedy subjects of our generation. The slated 2024 release of the film will mark 23 years since the September 11th terrorist attack in New York City. Says Wayans' brother Marlon, in order for parody to be observed and perceived, the audience must be completely aware of what event is being parodied. With today's endless streams of media, memes, and 10-second bits, it's really a no-brainer. We do the one event we all promise to never forget. Public criticism is widely on the side of opposition, stating that it's too soon, it's not funny, and it's never going to work. Feedback from early test screenings reported the following. The film begins at a college dorm party the night of September 10th in 2001. The main characters, Anna Faris's Cindy and Regina Hall's Brenda, are both interning separately at the Pentagon and the World Trade Center, starting the next morning, so they party it up all night long. At work the next day, they disregard their duties and begin sneaking around the buildings, finding classified documents, evidence of tax fraud, and edited logbooks from the U.S. Treasury. As the duo text each other back and forth about their findings, they're completely unaware of the ghost-faced men closely following their every move. The film goes on to parody not only horror and suspense movies, but also true crime television, such as Law & Order SVU with a cameo from Mariska Hargitay.
Nice.
And our millennial buffsters will be totally gagged by Buffy star Eliza Dushku's role as U.S. Senate President Al Gore.
You're obsessed with her.
The crew lead a crazy adventure from tower to tower as they, spoiler alert, narrowly escape the catastrophe by taking on an early lunch break to get the new Mariah Carey CD from Sam Goody. JGF Anna Faris is taking the backlash in stride, saying she truly believes this will be the funniest movie of all time. And I, for one, can't wait to see it. Happy birthday and best of luck with your new movie, Anna Faris.
Yes, happy birthday, Anna Faris. Thank you for bringing her
Well-
back to the forefront of our minds, Jackie. She's a great talent. She's been completely forgotten by everybody, but I don't think that's fair. I think that
Really?
she's going to come... Well, I remembered who she was, but I was like, oh, yeah, her. Wow, she's so like 2009, right? We have new comedy heroes these days. Audrey Plaza, Amy Schumer.
Yeah.
What's her... Nanette, what's her name?
Anna Gatsby.
Yeah, thank you very much. It sounds funny to me. I know
Anna
that all the
Gatsby,
I know
said.
all. I heard you and I said thank you.
Jackie said what?
I know that all the people now are gonna say you can't joke about this, you can't joke about that. But listen, folks, I'm gonna go see the 9/11 movie. Okay.
Okay.
The Happy Birthday podcast is brought to you by. We'll be right back in a little bit. We're gonna have a very special guest when we come back. When we come back, you're gonna want to hear this conversation. It's good radio. It's good, clean fun. And it's also cool.
All right. Do the stresses of everyday life bring you to a breaking point? Is the monotonous, tedious, long suffering of the banality of your schedule making you want to unalive yourself? Well, step outside the Matrix and into the Nagani downtown virtual reality arcade. Our state-of-the-art VR headsets are disinfected between uses. Immerse yourself in hours of play with our most popular virtual reality games like Dragon Wars, Space Abduction, Tall Boyfriend Shopping Trip, and Archery. Take respite from the Sunday scaries with our half-off Sunday special, where you can take 50% off all gameplay for select titles such as Solo, Parisian Nightwalkin', an outdoor survival course narrated by Chevy Chase. If you can't stand it any longer, take a step away and face reality in a new way at the Nagani Downtown Virtual Reality Arcade on Main. Mention this ad for one free virtual reality happy birthday sing-along with love and family and father.
Welcome back to the Happy Birthday podcast. This is the segment we do every week called the Wild Card segment. We don't talk about birthdays for a little bit, and we talk about whatever we want, frankly. So sometimes we'll talk about deaths, sometimes events that happen on this day, which is the 29th of November. And in the studio with us right here in Marquette, Michigan, we've got Jane.
Hey,
online.
Jane.
Hello. How is everyone?
So good.
I'm okay.
So good.
Paul looks a little sleepy, but I'm good. I'm wide awake.
Why are you just okay, Dan?
I don't want to get
Wow.
into it. No, I don't. We'll save it for later. But it's just okay. Yeah. I just want you to know that and then not. Oh no, don't worry about me.
Well, Jane, I got some good news for you. We're gonna tell you some facts about yourself that maybe you didn't even know, and we're also gonna give you the chance to win a bunch of stuff that we'll mail you. Former prizes have been iPods, gold,
Guns.
chainmail, and semi-automatic handgun.
Oh wow, so much good prizes there.
Yeah.
Everyone could use one of those. So.
Yes,
Absolutely.
exactly. And all you got to do to win the gold is you just have to guess correctly probably who died on this day. But before we get into all that, let's get to know you a little bit by showing you what the Garfield strip was like on the day you were born.
Oh boy, I'm excited.
So a lot of people are saying that this is the best, like horoscopes, whatever.
Sure.
The strip search is
It's
really
the
where
strip.
it's at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So would you like me to give you my birthday then?
Yes, please.
I was going to ask if
All
you're
right.
comfortable disclosing that.
Yeah, that's fine. February 3rd, 1993.
Oh, okay.
Just give me a second. I'm going to do a quick screen share. And the Garfield strip published the very day you were born.
Explain to the listeners what we're looking at right now, Jane.
So John's house is a wreck.
Yeah.
looks far more disheveled than it usually does.
Yeah.
He's got holes in his walls, and he's cleaning. And he tells Garfield, "You get the house filthy, and I clean it." And then he repeats himself again. "You get the house filthy, and I clean it." And the last panel, Garfield smiles and says, "Ah, the delicate balance of nature." You know, and this strip, it once again highlights that John has a very odd relationship with Garfield, because cats normally don't clean the house anyways. So he seems to expect that Garfield should be helping him out here.
Yeah.
Cats also don't typically leave banana peels and apple cores.
I was gonna say, so yeah, some of the refuse on the floor is a banana peel and an apple. So, and also John repeating "You get the house filthy and I clean it" as a sort of mantra. It just doesn't
seems very similar to Jack Nicholson in The Shining. There, I think he's very close to losing it.
I was gonna say it looks like there's some pubic hair on the floor as well.
I was kind of like that. That was probably the most concerning part of this strip.
So why won't the damn cat sweep up my pubes? Wow.
So Jane, would you say that this relates to your life?
Yeah, especially, I mean, I'm looking at my room right now, and I definitely could clean it.
Looks good to me.
Feels, well, you're only seeing a very small percentage of it.
True or false, you have an apple core on your floor right now.
I do not have an apple core on my floor right now, thankfully.
Strike one. All right.
That is a funny thing. I want to do that sometime in my house, just eat an apple and be like, ah! It's not that hard to throw it in the trash.
No, dude, it's all. Do you ever eat like fruit while you're driving?
No.
Right out the window with the husk. It's awesome.
I do that, yeah.
I don't even think it's illegal.
It decomposes.
It decomposes. You can throw whatever you want. I'd throw chicken bones out my window when I'm driving.
Yeah.
As I'm assuming most people, I know I'm guilty of this. Just let the trash pile up in your car until a certain period of time when you have to get rid of it all.
Yeah, when someone can't physically fit in the passenger seat, that's usually.
I have sat in your passenger seat on piles of trash.
I don't want to
times.
hear it. My car has its own issues.
Sure.
Jane, have you ever sat in the parking lot of a Walmart or any kind of grocery store and eaten an entire broaster chicken?
No, I can't say that I've done that. I have gone into the grocery store, and sometimes they got delis, and I'll get like the 2 chicken strip meal or something, and if I don't feel like waiting to go home to eat it, I'll just eat it in my car in the parking lot or something. But
that's acceptable. That's different than
that's very cool.
taking the meat off a carcass and just
Well, but then you get to throw the bones out the window, and the people in the parking lot can't even say anything to you because it decomposes because it's
right.
Organic.
Well, and if they get out of their car to try, then you can just drive off really fast.
Yes.
Gosh, what was I going to say? Have you ever?
Yeah. What do you got, Dan?
Well, I don't know. I had a bunch of things, and they're all gone, but that's okay. Oh, no, I'm sorry. One thing I do want to touch back on we don't have to stay on this topic for too long, but the whole Garfield-John dynamic brings me to, I'd like to say that I became aware of Jane from twitter.com. Is that right? And
Twitter.
Shouts out
social
Twitter.
Media website, yes.
All right, yeah, Jane, you didn't tell me you were online.
Yeah, no, he just kind of pulled me out of the phone book, and that's
my last name was right. It was in the A's, so I was like, well,
right, Altoids.
I'm glad that still works.
Yeah.
It's a good system.
But I believe there was a recent tweet you had to the effect of that John gives Garfield beer.
Oh my God! Yeah, no. Yeah, I think I just tweeted that like right before I went to bed or something.
It seemed like one of those, yeah.
I don't know what was going through my head, but it was just like, yeah, John seemed like he would be the kind of guy who just like gave Garfield beer.
Yeah. So I know it seemed like it was kind of a throwaway thought, but there was something about it. I was thinking about it all night. Like,
Yeah.
And it just like, I feel like this strip in particular just once again highlights John's very fragile mental state.
and he probably gives Garfield beer and then gets mad at him for being drunk.
Yeah.
Dan, you said just off the cuff, you just said that it was something you were thinking about all night, and I completely believe you. You genuinely were thinking about that all night long.
That was not hyperbolic flattery. I really was like trying to get out of my head, and I was like, oh.
No, I don't want to picture John giving Garfield beer anymore. Please.
Have him lick it out of his dish.
Oh no.
And then I was thinking, like, no wonder he hates Mondays. He's hungover every morning, and he's all lazy and volatile. I was like, this makes sense.
That does make sense.
It really adds up. If you
Yeah.
think about it for a second.
Yeah, and I did. But here's something else to think about for 1, maybe 2 seconds. We're going to revisit this birthday topic just one more time and take a look at a really huge book. I can barely lift it up. It's called The Secret Language of Birthdays. This is written by Gary Goldschneider and Joost Elfers, I believe it's pronounced.
Yeah, my roommate's a big fan of that book.
Nice.
All right. Well, if I were your roommate, you could say the same thing. But I've already got a place to live. That's all taken care of. So don't.
Wait, does that mean that your roommate is already, as we say, juiced ya?
Yeah, have you?
I no idea what that means.
So has your roommate sat you down and read a passage from?
Oh
that
no,
book
no, no, no!
about-
I haven't. No, he has not done
Thank God.
Because that's our only bit, so.
Yeah, that's really all we've got.
We're waiting for a guest to be like, I've done that already.
Yeah.
that. No. He's just mentioned the book in passing. That's
Okay. Okay, well, let's take a more than passing. And Josh, when you use the word juiced, like the name of the author, you might want to clarify a little more what you're talking about.
No,
People
I
get
just
it.
thought it could, but you just
They
said
figure
the
it
name.
out.
I guess we've said it so many times in
That's what
my
I'm
head.
saying.
It's just that's just a
Right.
word.
I don't
that
mean to-
you
I don't
say.
mean-
That
chastise
caller.
Okay. Well, February 3rd is the day of exacting realism. I don't quite know what is meant by that.
Fun. I like
But
that.
oh my gosh, there's so much the print here. It's very small font. It's very flowery language. I can't read the whole thing. I just can't. But hark. I see in the corner of the page a short list of strengths and weaknesses for those born on this day. Your strengths for those born on February 3. You are technical, detailed, and perfectionist.
Ooh, I like those.
I don't know if I'm any of those, to be honest.
Dang. Your weaknesses are going to be like defensive, argumentative.
I mean, I don't know you at all, but I was looking at that. I was like, I don't know if anyone that would agree to do this podcast is going to have those qualities.
I can assure you, I am not a perfectionist, and I would say that I am too disorganized to be detailed. Unfortunately.
Wow, that's really interesting. Usually people are like, yeah, that kind of, that describes me. But you're just like, no.
I just like, anybody that knows me, I think if you said those two things would probably be like, no.
I love that. Wow, I can't wait to see where these weaknesses lead.
Okay, and perfectionism, I gotta say, not necessarily a strength. Oh, but these sure aren't strengths. These are weaknesses. And they're not good. They're not good. So see how you feel
come
about
on.
these. I'm just preparing emotionally. Okay. Apparently,
Sometimes they're actually pretty good. We've
All
ran
right,
into
well,
a handful of them that are not.
be the
that bad.
judge, jury, and executioner of these weaknesses because you are unreliable. It's not me saying this. Emotionally difficult and self-indulgent.
Oh my.
Those I can't really disagree with. I feel like anybody who tweets as much as I do
Yeah.
has to be a little bit self-indulgent.
Sure.
Yeah. But it's not wrong to indulge oneself, right?
Yeah, I don't think that's a weakness at all. That makes me feel like you're just having a little piece of chocolate, a little glass of wine, tweeting a couple tweets. It's self-care.
Sure.
Yeah, it's definitely self-involved, I will say.
Yeah. Well, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, how about winning some stuff, all sorts of presents.
Sure. Yeah, let's get
I
to
love prizes.
All right.
I'm excited.
What is your address,
No.
apartment number?
I can write them down for you in a private message, not over the air.
Okay, a little weird, but that's fine. So we're, like I kind of hinted to or just said earlier, we're going to be doing deaths, people who died on this day. Several different years, couple easy ones, couple hard ones, but I don't even know what the prizes are going to be yet. That's how good they are. So strap in and let us begin. This gentleman passed away on this day, November 29th in 2011. He was an American comedian and actor. He was known for his stand-up comedy career and his regular guest appearances on the talk show Tough Crowd with Colin Quinn. I know, one of Dan's personal favorite shows, and radio show Opening and Anthony. Oh, God damn it.
Oprah and Anthony.
Oprah and Anthony. And it doesn't list this in the first column, but also starred in a show called Shorties Watching Shorties.
Jesus Christ. I was gonna guess Robin Williams at first, but the Colin Quinn stuff and that's too specific to be him.
Yeah.
I fucking have no idea.
His middle name was, well, two middle names actually, which is kind of cool. Lumumba Malcolm. So if that changes things.
Doesn't.
His big special was called Elephant in the Room, which he's a bigger guy.
Oh, is it Ralphie May?
No, but
Oh,
kind of
okay.
a similar sized person.
More of a misogynist, I think, right?
More of a
Yeah,
misogynist.
Yeah.
they're much funnier. I'd say of all of the big comedians, oh my God, I think this guy's probably the funniest.
All right.
If you give up, that's okay too.
I give up.
Patrice O'Neal.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's not. You should have said that he wrote for the WWF. I would have known it then.
Oh, really?
Did he do that?
I learned
Yeah,
that
no,
recently.
he did.
Actually,
He did for
yeah.
a very short period of time. But that's like the one like weird fact about him that like would have got it for me.
I genuinely like.
I didn't know that.
When I said the Shorties Watching Shorties thing, I was debating saying that because I'm like, oh, everyone's gonna know exactly who I'm talking about if I mention Shorties Watching Shorties. Of course,
Have
people
you-
remember that show.
Yeah, have you seen that show before, Jane?
I had
No.
no
Was that
idea
the
what even
animated
is.
one?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was. We won't stay on this topic for too long, but it was a.
Oh, we can.
It was an animated stand-up comedy show on Comedy Central, where I think Jim Norton and Patrice O'Neal were animated as babies watching other animated clips of stand-up comedy.
Right.
Yep.
And
Patrice was
something about it.
They
Me
were
and Josh,
babies.
it has stuck with us since it was on, and I thought it ran for years. Apparently, it was on for like 2 months.
Yeah, no, I never heard of that show. I guess I should have known from the Opie and Anthony thing though, because
Yeah,
a lot
yeah.
of his bits come from there. But
I mean, it was no That's My Bush, or what was that show called? Oh, Lil Bush.
They had two of
yeah, isn't that the Iggy Pop was in that show? I think. I don't know who he did the voice. I think he might have voiced Donald Rumsfeld or something.
Oh, that rocks. Well, rest in peace, Donald Rumsfeld. Let's move on to our next question.
Did he die on November 29th too?
You're like, I don't know about the ratings for this Little Bush show. Oh, don't worry, we're bringing in the big guns for Rumsfeld. This is gonna gonna put asses in seats.
Got Iggy Pop.
Anyway, moving along.
Okay. So this next guy, big world famous rock star. He's very, very old. Well, no, he's passed. Let me hop on his Wikipedia here. He was a guitar player. He's Englishman. Singer-songwriter. He achieved international fame as the lead guitarist for blank. Sometimes called the quiet one. He embraced Indian culture.
George Harrison.
Yep,
Nice.
you got it.
Yeah.
So you won the $100 bill.
No,
I won $100. Yay!
Jackie, can we see the $100 bill, please?
no, there's. I'm sorry. There's no
And
bills.
can you pull up a picture of George Harrison in The Love Guru, please, as well?
Was he in the Love Guru?
No.
No, The Love Guru came out like years after he died.
Oh, you picture.
I think it,
I don't know about that.
no,
We'll leave
I
that
think
to the
what you're
fact checkers at
confusing it
home.
is in pre-production, George Harrison was planned on playing the Mike Myers role.
Sure.
Wait, no way.
I'm sorry.
Well, the thing,
Oh, that would've
the
been
funny thing
so
about that though
cool.
is that like one of like I think the very last letter that George Harrison sent out before he died was to Mike Myers asking for like an Austin Powers toy or something.
I've heard that. Yes,
What? I love that.
I'm a Beatles head, and that fact has somehow crossed my path before, and that's
Well, that's why I thought like, oh, maybe there is some maybe.
fair. That's funny to think. Like, I'm sure this was some sort of mass-produced item, and he's just like, because when's the last time he would like went to a store? He's like, where do I get one of these? I guess I gotta write the star of the movie. Sitting at his desk with like a quill pen. All right.
So you got that one. You won the $100. That's good. This next one, I'm going to throw you for a little loop here, and I apologize. This is a Finnish gentleman. Are the three? Are we three all Finnish? Jackie,
Yes.
are you Finnish at all?
Oh yeah.
So we're all very Finnish people. So this is more for us, I guess.
Well, we're Americans too.
Well, yeah, we're
By
born in
default,
America.
yeah.
second generation, third generation.
I am not.
This guy was a Finnish artistic gymnast. He competed in 5 consecutive Olympics from 1928 to 1952 and won at least 1 medal in each of them. Who do you think I'm talking about, Jane?
Well, I'm a big expert on 1920s Finnish gymnasts, so it's definitely there's so many to choose from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And this would be the top of, if you got all of them in a room, this is the one that's going to stand out kind of as your star. He won a bronze on pommel horse.
Oh, okay.
Which the reason I picked
I think
this
they
one
made that
is
event
because I
illegal
saw
after all.
I saw pommel horse, and that's why I picked this one because
Yeah.
I thought he did horse gymnastics, which is I thought it was cool, and then I thought maybe I'd find out what horse gymnastics are. But a pommel horse is not an actual horse. It's like a.
It's that brown thing where you hold you do like spinnies around it or something.
So you guys knew that. I had no idea.
I didn't know that.
I thought he was the horse was doing gymnastics and he was riding it.
Well, that would be a lot cooler, I think,
Yeah.
than just spinning around a brown bar. But honestly, I don't know a single Finnish gymnast. I don't
What?
I'd give you a name.
Well, I'll tell you this. In Finnish, his first name is the Finnish word for snow.
If you have a English to Finnish dictionary, you can pull that out real quick.
is his
Yeah.
name is Friedrich something? Probably.
It's Heikki Savalainen.
Oh, I like
Heikki
that.
Savalainen. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a poster of him on my wall. I should have done that.
All right, Jane. Let's do this final one here. So, would you call yourself a bit of a music fan? Do you like music?
I love music, and that's all. I was reading Bob Dylan's book today, where he's like going through every song that he likes and explaining why it's.
I
cool,
want to read
I
that
guess.
book.
That's
The
fun.
philosophy of modern song.
Yeah.
Is it his own songs that he enjoys?
No,
or
it's
other-
just
other
like stuff
people's?
that he likes,
Yeah.
like mostly
that's cool.
songs from like the 40s and 50s. Honestly,
What kind
but
of
there's
stuff
a few
does he
other
like? Does he talk about what he was into when he was doing like rap stuff? Like what?
It's like he'll like drop like he drops like very like obvious like references to like Jay-Z and stuff like in the things, but it's most like I said, it's mostly just like old country and like blues stuff and like early rock and roll stuff that he's talking about in there.
Yeah.
Well, the good news is this guy that we're talking about is definitely going to be someone Bob Dylan's probably familiar with then. He was born in 1892, died on this day in 1954. He was a Dixieland jazz pianist, clarinetist, and drummer. I guess back then you kind of had to do it all.
Sure. Did you?
He was most likely born in New Orleans, although the date is disputed, and some sources have cited the birthplace as Biloxi, Mississippi. Mother's name was Hattie, unmarried, father's unknown. His elder brother was a double bassist, William Manuel
Miranda.
Bill Johnson.
Oh.
Yes.
Is any
Bill
of that ringing a
Manuel
bell?
Miranda.
Jesus.
So yeah,
It's sad that the era is likely gone forever, where there are biographies of people where their birth date and place is just like not known. You know,
yeah,
and like not to historians, but like to the person themselves. They're like, I don't know, 1891, 94. So I don't know. Out in
I
the
was
country.
just
Yeah.
You know,
It is surprising because you'd think there'd be a little bit more documentation on someone who played the clarinet in Kid Ory's band.
Ooh.
Saying.
Kid Ory. He made more recordings in the 1940s, mostly on piano, although doing some one-man band recordings. He was piano style was very influenced by Jelly Roll Martin, who's a guy Dan
That's
talks
who I was
about
gonna.
a lot.
That's who I was gonna guess.
That's who you were gonna guess.
Same, yeah.
Well, then you're very close.
Is it God? What's his fucking name? It's not Fats Waller, is it?
No, but it's
Does he have like a nickname name?
it's a fun name.
Okay.
What?
That's what I was gonna ask, if it's a nickname name, like
Yeah,
stage
it's a
name,
nickname
whatever. Yeah,
name.
yeah.
He wrote the tune "The Crooked Blues," and "crooked" spelled with a K.
And this was the days before spell check.
Also, bringing it all back, he died in Portland, Oregon.
Oh,
which
wow.
is where Dan lives.
Spooky.
Do we know where Dan was on the day that he died?
Yeah.
Well,
The heck?
listeners, I am tugging at my collar and making a face.
I don't know.
All right. First name rhymes. First name rhymes with sink.
Sink.
Yeah.
Uh,
Or drink. Clink. Bink.
got nothing.
Dink Johnson.
I don't know who that person is.
Me either.
That's
Rest
new
in
for
peace.
me, yeah.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Ollie Dink Johnson. Dan, you
Look up
know
his
him?
music.
I do not know the name Dink Johnson. No, I know
Is he
the
on
body
Spotify?
part. But
Well,
I
he was Jelly Roll Morton was the common law husband of his half sister Bessie, also known as Anita Gonzalez.
Well, there
Which
you
is
go.
literally,
I feel like
insane.
you know that sketch from I Think You Should Leave with
Yes.
where Tim Heideck is like,
yes.
you don't know the Colgate comedy hour?
That is my entire life. These two.
Well, yeah. I do have an odd knowledge of like early 20th century whatever. I don't know.
What was
But I
his
don't-
name? Dink what?
Dink Johnson.
Dink
Johnson.
Yeah, play it in your microphone there, Jackie.
Sorry, I think my edibles just hit. I'm having a hard time.
I told you that butter was dangerous.
2010, he's got an album out, so
All right.
Dink?
Yeah.
Barbershop Rag. Here we go.
I can't hear
Can you
it.
hear that?
I hear nothing.
Yeah, I think the
It's like
audio's clipping on
da 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 da.
It's about what I
Ding, ding,
would
ding,
expect.
ding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But R.I.P. Dink.
Yeah.
yeah.
May your music live on forever.
Actually,
And
I'm
it
gonna.
sounds like it does.
Yeah, I'm gonna download that album. I like that.
Well, Jane, you didn't win the gun, you didn't win the gold, but you won the $100, so that's great news.
Disclaimer: there's no money. Like you have to stop telling people that.
I assumed there wasn't.
Sure.
You know, I was like, if I open up Venmo and there just happened to be $100 in there afterwards, you know, I'd be
Listen,
like, all right, but, you know.
I'm writing down every person I promise a prize to. I write it down, and when I'm able to, I'm going to come through on all of those promises.
That's fair.
Well, that's very noble. I appreciate it.
Thank you. That is another thing people say about me. A lot of people say I'm a himbo, and a lot of people have been saying also that
Noble.
I'm noble.
Noble,
Yes.
yeah. I have heard
The
that about
noble
you.
himbo.
Usually at this point, I like to ask our guest, which is you, Jane, do you have a favorite birthday memory?
Let
Could
me
be your
think.
birthday, could be someone else's birthday.
Birthdays.
Could be Dink Johnson's birthday.
Johnson's birthday. I remember. I mean, this isn't a good memory, but I do remember.
Oh, even better.
Let's have it.
I do remember, like, you know, going over to a friend. I use the quotes sleepover for his birthday when I was in 5th grade, and just like I thought it was like gonna be like a thing where like we didn't have to bring gifts, and then
no.
he got like, and then he got. So I didn't bring anything,
Yeah.
and then so like. For like weeks afterwards, he like just kept harassing me about it, and then finally, I told my mom, and she was like, "Here's fucking $20, just give it to him." And so
Oh my God.
but he's like, it was even worse because he was like one of those like his like dad was like not you can't really be a famous golfer unless you're Tiger Woods, but his dad was like
Sure.
a professional
Yeah.
golfer who like.
What?
He won, you know, he has a Wikipedia page. So
Say his name. We'll bleep it out.
So
Say
like
his
he
name.
had, like his parents had money, his mom, you know, it's like, it's just, it shouldn't have been a,
Yeah, you didn't get me anything.
Yeah.
yeah. So
That's crazy.
And I'm sorry if you said, how old were you at the time, did you say?
5th grade.
5th grade. Okay.
Yeah.
Boo those people.
Jane, what do you got going on? You're all over the internet. You're posting
Yeah.
things. You're tweeting. I believe you have a little podcast of your own.
Yes, we do.
Really?
Pacino Pod. We are covering every single movie that Al Pacino has been in chronological order.
I love that.
The most recent episode we have up right now is the one on Paterno, so a very depressing episode to start with. So, but
Does
you
he
know,
play Sandusky?
No, he plays Paterno.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Well,
So
I'll
it's-
say I checked out the episode about Gigli. I thought it was a fun listen, and I'd never seen Gigli, and I want.
Gigli's a horrible fucking film. I was not prepared for that.
Wait, so you're going in chronological order, you said?
Mhm.
So you've already done Carlito's Way.
Yes, which I like. It was a really good film. I like
I
that
fucking
one.
love that movie.
So
It's,
fun.
top tier, I would say.
John Leguizamo's so underrated as an actor.
How many movies has he been in, Al Pacino?
Since The Pest?
No, Al Pacino total.
Oh, it's like 60 something. I don't know the exact
Okay,
number,
okay.
but he's still making them. We got a couple big ones coming up. The Once Upon a Time in Hollywood and The Irishman are the next two. So we're close to the finish line of not sure what we'll do after, but
Well, he might keep pumping them out. You never know.
I think so. I mean, we still got a whole fucking season of a TV show to watch, so it's
Yeah.
still going for a while.
I am curious. I don't want to spoil any of the content that you've created, but what are there some outstanding kind of stinkers in the filmography besides Gigli?
Oh, yeah. I mean, we've cut like a lot of the recent ones we've covered kind of fall under that.
Sure.
Hangman's pretty fucking bad. Misconduct is bad. Let's say. I really didn't like this. This is kind of an obscure one from the 90s called 2 Bits. I thought that's a pretty weird film. It's directed by the same guy that did Glengarry Glen Ross, but it's like this it's like a film about, you know, being like a kid in like during the Great Depression and loving cinema, but like the tone of it is super dark and weird at the same. It's like trying to go for wholesome and weird. And Al Pacino plays the grandfather, but he's like a fucking pervert. And it's like,
Oh no.
I don't know. It's a very there's some weird moments in that film.
Kind of like Bad Grandpa.
Yeah, but it's supposed to be like the whole thing is like it's shot like a film that you're like teacher would like put on at like if they were like didn't want to teach that day or something.
Yeah.
Like it's got like that's the tone it's going for, but like the actual I don't know. It's hard to explain, but that movie is bad.
So how far back do I have to go to find out how Scent of a Woman held up?
No, that movie's good. I like Scent of a Woman.
Did it actually?
Yeah.
It held up pretty well.
Yeah, no, I thought it. I was actually prepared for it to not like it, but I thought it was really good. Directed by the same guy that did Geely.
Interesting.
Sure, makes sense. I remember it was like one of those movies that was like on the if you had the premium cable package, they played Scent of a Woman like 5 times a week. Yeah. I used to watch a lot of it as a young boy. Very confusing.
It's a good. I would call it a film that you could put on for Thanksgiving with your family if you want to.
Jane, I have one more question for you. When you were a kid, did you ever accidentally change the channel over to Whose Line Is It Anyway? Did you ever see it when you were actually like a small kid?
When I was
like
I don't know,
elementary age.
Not that I have like any like. I feel like I started watching it like just like when I was like in around like 5th and 6th grade. That's
okay. So when you first saw it, did you have any idea what was going on?
I could. Yeah, I mean, I knew like it was like improv.
What is this?
What is it? This is a fixation with you. They tell
he
you at the
texted me.
beginning of each segment. They say this
doesn't make any sense.
Paul texted me the other day. He out of nowhere. He said, "There's no way when you were 8 years old you understood what was happening on Whose Line." And I
didn't see it when I was that age.
I just feel like it's
I got it.
not
It
that-
clicked.
It wouldn't be a hard show to follow. They're just doing funny sketches by the suggested by the audience.
I'm sorry to scream at you like that, but they hold your hand through the whole show. They say this is going to be hands through someone's back. This is
Was it the points thing that was throwing you off? Or like is this a game show or was that
I didn't know what I mean. It was every aspect of the show. I didn't comprehend any of it. No one ever explained to me what improv comedy was. And also, I'll tell you this on the himbo thing. I didn't finish a book until I was about 15 years old.
You read all the fucking time.
And since then, I've probably only read about 20 more books.
That's not true.
That's not true.
It's true that I didn't read a full book until I was 15.
Really?
And I
Yes.
I am a librarian.
Wow, you're our second librarian. That's so fun.
Oh my God. Now, all right, let's start this whole goddamn thing over again.
Is your library haunted? First of all,
it's too new to be haunted. It's a newer building. It's only like been around for like 10 years, the building itself. So
that's fun.
Yeah.
It's a nice building.
We had a guest like 2 episodes ago who works at a haunted library. So.
Yeah, my mom used to work at a haunted library. And
no way.
That building's falling apart.
And you fell into the family business.
Actually,
that's fun.
No, I didn't because I did it first, and then my mom worked at that library after I already started working at this one. So, if anything, I am the trendsetter.
Yeah, for sure.
You always like to see a parent follow in their child's footsteps. Thank you very much. Check you out on Twitter and probably Mastodon.
At Static Blue Bat, if Twitter still exists. I think it will, but I think
so too.
You know.
And now, are you up on? Is your Mastodon account live?
That's one fucking thing I am not going to use Mastodon. That's stupid as hell.
You have to. So you don't have a choice. You have to make one. So
we were talking about maybe getting on Nextdoor, but we'll see what happens.
Promote your podcast to your neighbors.
Hey, we're the house that's always blasting a podcast on a Bluetooth speaker out the window at midnight. Check it out. All right. Thank you very much, Jane.
All right.
Thank you, Jane.
Thank you, Jane.
That was the Happy Birthday Podcast. You can find us every single day of the week as long as we have our stuff uploaded. We don't upload every day, but it's just available is what I'm trying to say.
Right.
You can find us at the following hashtags, Jackie.
Robert De Niro, Frankie Muniz.
It's been a long day.
HBDPOD. You can find us
Follow us on Instagram.
Instagram, Patreon, Twitter.
And that's
Are we on something new? Nextdoor?
TikTok. Yeah, we're on Nextdoor. And
TikTok.
I think that we're going to try to get on Truth Social, frankly.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
See ya.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Happy birthday.